Hi everybody, I'm Zilla Blitz and welcome to another episode of American Truck Simulator. We are in our second episode from Texas, and if you missed the end of the last episode, we've got a brand new sleeper cab with the Western Star 57X, finally reached level 25. Diesel the dog has now joined us. We've got our Keep Calm and Truck on Christmas tree. Obi-Wan Kenobi is hitching a ride as we're heading down to Houston today. That's where he wants to go. We got a Magic Carp, a Snowy Isle, and we've painted our truck in the Grizzly, the Montana Grizzly, in the kind of green and red Christmas theme, getting ready for the holidays. Now, we have a load of Cotton Lint on the back. That gets us part of the Cotton Bloom achievement. So let's get underway here. We got a lot of wheeling to do. It's been raining the whole morning here, but we have a 5-hour and 18-minute journey down to, there we go. 5-hour and 18-minute journey down to Houston, Galveston. So I'm excited to see one of the largest cities in the United States and see what it looks like in the game here. And work on a little bit of achievements. We'll chat about things Texas. We'll take a look at some of the comments from the last episode. Lots to do as we head out on the road here. And it is in the right place. We're going right here? This way. Okay, yep. Sorry, I got a little bit confused there for a second. Lots to do, so we'll get out on the highway a little bit here, and then we will reconnect once we get going on the main roads. Go! That's a first. I haven't seen that before. I got a feeling this is going to take a while for them to sort out, so we are going to try to slip around this here. Not going to wait for them to untangle these cars here. We're just going to go right by this. Yep, little bit of crazy driving there. I wondered, it looked like to me he was taking that angle a little bit tightly there. Probably going to get a ticket for this, $700, but it's worth it because I think they're going to be there for a long time trying to untangle that trailer in that car. So we'll take our fine and head on down the road here. We're not going to wait for that one. And actually perfect timing because we're just getting on the highway now. We're heading out of Dallas and on our way south down to the coast in Houston, Galveston. So a number of things that I think this journey will help us on with starting our achievement journey in Texas, because the Cotton Bloom achievement needs you kind of to take 10 of these cotton deliveries. And I think there are 3 different kinds of which you have to take a minimum of 1 of each. So I think that means this will give us one of the 3 minimums that we need in the first of our 10 journeys there. Also, this is going to the cargo port in Houston, kind of between Houston and Galveston. And I think that's that second achievement, which requires you to go all 10 of the different cargo or port facilities in Texas to get that achievement as well. So that would give us 1 delivery in each of those 2 things. And then the other thing I was checking out, I looked a little bit online. We were chatting in the last episode about the Avid Historian achievement where you have to find, I think it's 25 or 30. Let me just check here. I got it pulled up here. Shoreside delivery is that cargo one, and it's 8 deliveries. But the Avid History one is 30 different. Oh, it's crazy driving here. I got to go straight. Okay, got to pay attention to what I'm doing. But 30 different historical markers, and it sounds like they're not actually marked or indicated on your map. They're just these roadside signs, which are this is the wrong way. It faked me out. How much longer is this going to be? 6 hours and 6 minutes. Big mistake. Garg. I wasn't paying attention closely enough. I was chatting about Texas history. We made a wrong turn. I hate when that happens. That adds about an hour onto our journey, but well, it's not that long anyway. Anyway, hopefully we won't make any other wrong turns, but that Avid Historian one, apparently they're just these little roadside signs, which are often the way these historical markers are in the United States if you're not familiar with it. They're just random signs that some municipality kind of paid a little money up and put up there about some little point of history. I mean, some of them are kind of cool. Most of them, to be totally honest, aren't really that well written, and they're not really that interesting unless you happen to be from that area. But we do have to find 30 of them, and they aren't marked. Now, I saw some people are starting to collect them. There's like an achievement guide on Steam, and I saw some people are starting to put ones in that they found and things like that. But it does seem like it's going to be a challenging achievement to get. Now, apparently there's more than 30, but you have to find 30 of them. And I did see one near Galveston where we're going that I think we might have time to go to today at the end, but I'm not sure how far away it will be. We'll check as we get there. So hopefully I don't screw this up now. Looks like we gotta go this way. Okay, we're down to 5 hours and 40 minutes. So all this driving we're done, we're 30 minutes farther away from our destination, but what can you do? We're getting some nice views of Dallas here off in front of us too, which is actually that's kind of cool. was going to look, but I have to kind of not crash into things here. Now, which way are we going? This is actually... So, talking a little bit the last time. Well, straight here, right? No, that... Oh, gosh, is it that way? Did I go the wrong turn again? 6 hours and 7 minutes. We're never going to get out of Dallas. Seriously? That, to my defense, I don't think that was very clear on the Nuvi down here. This is a big city. Usually you don't have to drive in big cities. I'm just a country trucker here. Now they got us in the big city and I'm getting lost. This isn't Kansas anymore. Darn it. Okay. Anyway, we're getting a scenic tour here of all the things in Dallas. And it is kind of pretty cool here if we don't hit the guardrails and stuff. I'm going to focus on my driving and see if I can get us out of Dallas. Because we've been driving about an hour and we're about 30 minutes farther away from where we started. So, on a good note, the upgraded trailer here, the upgraded cab here, has a larger gas tank. The last one was small and I kept running out of gas or being close to running out of gas. This one's about 50 gallons bigger. So, that's a good thing. And with that, I'm going to leave you for a little while and see if I can get us out of Dallas and on our way towards Houston. Don't drive like I am. Alrighty, we're out of Dallas, finally. That was actually... There aren't that many big cities. I mean, I suppose California's that way. You could bypass. Yes, nice. Whoops. I suppose California's that way with some of the areas around Los Angeles. There's probably a lot of turns and twisty stuff and things like that. But there really hasn't been that many confusing cities in American Truck Simulator, or at least that I've gone through, because I haven't spent much time in Los Angeles in the game or driving around a lot of the cities. A lot of it is kind of rural, big, open, wide spaces. Now, Dallas, Fort Worth, that's a pretty big metropolitan area. The one we're going to, Houston, Galveston, is huge, of course. So have to kind of learn how to drive in the cities. I didn't find it the most intuitive to use the Nuvi to figure out which way to go, because sometimes they have the roads blocked off if you can't go down, so they don't show up on the Nuvi, and it's kind of, it's like two gray lines. Anyway, yeah, we screwed up, but we're finally on the right path now. We got our cotton going in the right direction. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the comments from the last episode, and one that I thought was, we're talking about the traffic, because I was kind of speculating. It feels to me, like just from driving, experientially, that there's a lot more traffic. And here we have Aiden Shackman, who posted and said, yes, 1.6 added more traffic, it rebalanced the traffic, and it increased the view distance they spawn in at. So it definitely feels a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more alive, a little bit more metropolitan, a little bit busier than it did before. I haven't really found it to be... I'm not a big fan of traffic jams in the game. I don't like traffic jams in real life. And when I play this game, I don't want to be sitting in traffic jams in them. And I don't like traffic lights too much in the game either. And I find that there's a nice, tolerable amount of traffic and traffic jams and lights and stuff. Some of the cities have way too many, I think. But what are you going to do? It's okay. It's not complaining. It's just, yeah, they're there. But I haven't found the amount of traffic at all to be overwhelming with this amount. I actually kind of like it. It just feels a little bit more challenging, a little bit more like you're in a dynamic game with kind of the more correct number of people in the game world. I think it felt a little bit perhaps kind of empty before. So yeah, this is pretty good. And it also, there's been places, and I don't think we've driven enough in 1.46 to say anything yet, but there are times and places in the game, and I think maybe Euro Truck Simulator a little bit more than American Truck Simulator, where you get that kind of like endless line of traffic in a place where it really doesn't make sense to have an endless line of traffic. But I haven't seen any of those yet. And so for what it's worth, yeah, apparently there is more traffic, but I kind of like it. It hasn't been annoying yet. So far, so good with that part. Another comment, I thought this was interesting. I wasn't planning to talk about this, but the interestingly named Potty Trained posted a comment about garage and truck maximums in both American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator. Here's his comment. So apparently you can have 202 garages in Euro Truck Simulator. In American Truck Simulator, it's a maximum of 75. But for both games, the maximum amount of drivers you can have is 354. And he said he has maxed out in both games. So there's a goal for us. We have, I think, 4 garages in American Truck Simulator and maybe 6 or 7 in Euro Truck Simulator, if that. So wood to chop. We'll get busy here. Can we max out our garages and trucks? Actually, in a Euro Truck Simulator, we have so much money right now, and I realize it's not so much compared to how much we're going to have soon, but pretty much every episode I could buy a garage, increase the space of a garage, or buy a new truck and hire a new driver. So it's starting to get that place where the money really starts to roll in. So anyway, for what it's worth, I thought that was kind of interesting. Thanks Body Train, for sharing that. About 3.5 hours left in our Texas journey. The weather has turned nice here. It was raining early this morning, and we're out kind of in that space between Houston and Galveston here. You can bypass the nearby way station, and we are in trouble. Got to get out of this lane. All right, there we go. No worries. So we'll see in a little bit, maybe as we get about 2 hours away from our final destination. Alrighty, we are going through Huntsville, which is off to our right-hand side. 5 out of 29 cities so far in Texas. So we should get Houston today, so that'll be 6. 6 times 5 is 30. We are over 20% of the way there. So making pretty good progress here as we head through Huntsville. All right, so there's a question mark off on the right-hand side here. We're going to do a little bit of exploration and go see if we can find it. Well, I'm sure we can find it, but I want to go see if we can, because it might be a viewpoint, or I'm curious to see what it is. Even if it's like kind of a recruitment center, that would still be kind of fun to get it. And it looks so accessible. You can see it down on the bottom right-hand nuvie there. Looks like it's just right down on the right-hand side. The other thing, a number of people have asked me which mod I'm using, and I do want to make an episode that talks about all the different mods that I'm using. And I'm not using that many, but I probably put like my top 5 or 6. I've probably used 10 over time, and there's a number of them that I really do like. This minimal advisor interface is one that I really like. I know Cecil has one as too, but his changes the size of these mirrors here, and I find that the smaller size is pretty much useless. I like these mirrors. I find otherwise, I don't like them because they block the view, but I like them for backing up because I feel like it gives the best representation of depth. So the minimal advisor interface gives you this lower advisor interface, kind of with the GPS down there and the information at the bottom, but it doesn't change these mirrors. So I really kind of like this one. Is this going to be a recruitment agency? We came all over here for the recruitment agency. Do we have to pull down there? We do. Can I turn around in there? Challenge accepted. Let's go get it. I was hoping for something a little bit more exciting than a recruitment agency, but anyway, we'll get this recruitment agency, say hi to all the people here. I think we just got our trailer completely stuck. Yeah, we'll get this sorted out, and then we'll get back out on the road and see in a little bit. This is a rather energetic stop sign there. That's kind of cool. We don't have those in Minnesota. Oh, look at that. A statue off on the left. We got to take a picture. It's a photo op, too. Nice. Let's get it. It's the Sam Houston statue. That's pretty cool. Nice. Can we zoom in on it? Look at that. Let's get this nice, and let's get the whole rule of thirds, and we'll put Sam right there. Let's change the sunlight a little bit. So we'll play around with this, see if we can get a good photo here. Oh, that looks great. There we go. So, click. Let's get it bigger. Boom. Sam Houston statue, photo trophy captured. Most excellent. So, let's talk about that a little bit there. I actually really like that because, we used to do a couple of episodes where we do kind of historical markers and we'd do a little bit of a story of it and talk about it as we went there. And I feel like that's always been a missed opportunity in the game, is that you drive by these historical places and the game doesn't really give you any information about them. Nothing at all. At least now they're pointing them out and you can take pictures of them. So kudos to SCS Software. I really like that feature. I kind of was a little bit, you can take them from kind of far away, but now that I know there's a way actually to switch out the pictures, I think that's pretty cool. I haven't done that yet. I got to check that out, but apparently there is a way to do that. So I want to go in and see if I can switch that out. But yes, I like the fact that they're calling attention to the history in the game. I think that's really neat. Anyway, we got about 2 hours left. Let's reconnect when we got about an hour, 2 hours if I don't make any more wrong turns in Houston. Yeah, right. Which, judging by how well I drove in Dallas, here we go. Houston discovered 6 out of 29. Most excellent. Judging by how, I actually usually don't make wrong turns. I think there was probably 30, 40 episodes in a row where I didn't make a wrong turn. And I finally made one in Europe, I think. That's 2 in the same episode. That usually doesn't happen. Anyway, we are in Houston. And so we'll get a little bit closer to our final destination and then check in. Texas state flag off on the left. Nice. See you in a little bit. So, We've got downtown coming right up to the front of us here. Big cities in American Truck Simulator. Houston is what the... Do I go left? Looks like I go left. I make that? Yes! Oh, that was close. I didn't have much confidence that we were doing the right way there. I might actually try to take a picture here with the big city in the background. That might make for a nice little screenshot there, except probably going to make a wrong turn again. Let's see how we do here. Alright, I want to see if I can get Houston off to our side here, so I'm going to mess around with the photos again. So I stopped to get this screenshot, and this is actually another photo trophy. It's the Houston Skyline District, so that's pretty cool. I think that might make for a nice little... trophy. There's so much to see and do, and I actually really like the new photo feature. It's pretty cool. You get it's... I mean, I mentioned in the last episode, I like taking photos, and now that I'm not so stuck up on the or hung up on the idea that you can take them from really far away and that you can switch them out and stuff like that, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, so many more things to do. It's funny how like a little thing like that can just kind of give you a lot more things to do as you're driving and stuff like that. So, we've got about an hour or so left. I've chatted for a good amount of time, and I might be making a wrong turn here again. Nope, looks like we're going to be okay. I feel pretty confident this is the right way. Look at all these roads. There's like so many roads here. It's not easy. You'll see, you're going to make some wrong turns too. But, yeah, this is fun. Exploring Houston, Dallas, heading down to the coast. All right, so there's another question mark off to the side here. We're going to do another detour and see if we can pick this up. There's two question marks here, actually. I wonder if this is another recruitment. Oh, this is a dealership. Oh, well, it'd be good to pick it up. I was hoping for like a historical marker. Going so fast. There we go. Freightliner. All right. And over on the other side, there's another question mark. I think, just for the heck of it, I'm actually going to go get it. So we are off in the suburbs now of Houston here. I'm actually looking to see if we can find a historical marker, too. I feel like those are going to be challenging to find. But we have some kind of a question mark up ahead here. No idea what it is. Oh, it's another recruitment agency. I want that historical, not the historical marker, but the viewpoints. Anyway, we'll get back out on the highway and finish this up. Just a side little comment, this Houston-Galveston area is really big, right? Because this is a metropolitan area. I mean, we were over here coming into Houston, the northwest corner of the map here, and it said 2 hours to go. So this is a rather thing. We can see we're going to the Port of Houston down here. So yeah, big city area. It's kind of fun. We still have a half an hour to go. We've been driving in the city for an hour and a half now. So the other thing I've noticed about Texas, it's flat. I guess I never thought about that. I've been in Austin, and it doesn't seem that flat. Dallas feels flat to me, if I remember right. And driving across the western part of the state, yeah, that was pretty flat. But it struck me that on the whole, Texas geography seems a lot flatter than I guess I would have anticipated. Had you asked me, is Texas flat or hilly? I would have said pretty normal. But it does seem like it's a pretty flat state. Anyway, about a half an hour or so left. I think I've chatted about it. Oh, the only other thing I wanted to talk about is the value, because nobody really made comments about the value. I was talking in the last game how in the last episode how it's $18 for this one, which is more than it's typically been, but there's so much more content here compared to a traditional state. And there's one other thing I want to talk about too. Only one person seemed to think it was expensive, and they made the comparison to countries in Europe, like you get more in countries in Europe, but Texas is actually bigger than France, so it's a big state. So I don't know, I feel like the value is good, and eventually, if you don't feel like it's good value, you can always wait and get it later, right? Because they eventually put them all on sale. Like I saw the base game now is $5, and that's an incredible value for all of the entertainment. So if you don't have the game yet and you wanted to start playing for $5, you've got probably 100 hours of driving to do. I mean, more. You can do the same things and stuff like that too, but plenty of terrain to explore and things like that. And then the other conversation that's been kind of going on in the comments a little bit is people kind of wondering about whether the pace of the DLCs, state DLCs, will start to increase. Because, if you're thinking about it, they're putting out maybe 1 or 2 states a year before this. And now as you get east, they're going to get much smaller, for sure. That's a given, right? But still, at that pace, if you do the math, it's like 20 years. Oh, we should have stopped there. But, oh well, made it. That's like 20 years before we're going to be done with the United States. They kind of got to pick it up if the goal is to get to some of those eastern states and things like that. So maybe that is the intent, that there's going to be kind of a faster pace for states. which would be very cool. And a lot of these smaller states, you know, I thought I heard they're going to release them in kind of pairs and packs. Like, especially as you get into like New England and some of the eastern states, it makes sense to probably do 2 or 3 of them together because they're not that big. But if you did them small, you could have them come out like every month or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. So, did I make a wrong turn again? It says 8 minutes. No, I think we're good. But, okay. Well, anyway, we'll finish this up. I'd be curious to hear, like, would you want smaller states coming out every month, or would you want them to clump them together? Oh, I know why it's like this. We're in the port. This is probably a lot of kind of wheeling around here and stuff like that. Would you want them kind of lumped together into one bigger pack of small states? I confess, I think I would rather have more DLCs in smaller states. That'd be kind of fun, like if one came out every month for a while. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But anyway, we'll get closer to the final destination here and see what kind of a parking opportunity we have. It's a pretty windy drive here to get to the final, the location for the delivery here. We gotta go through all these little gates and whatnot, but we'll get it there. We'll get it done. So this is actually kind of cool. This is a pretty big facility here. I mean, there's a lot of... why are you stopping? But you got the chips and stuff, it looks like, and lots of different windy stuff. We've been winding around here for about 5 minutes of 20-mile-an-hour driving. I wonder what the parking is going to be like as we get closer here. This truck here has been... I guess he's stopping because there's a big sign on the road that says stop. That makes sense. Is he going this way? It's making me nervous. Doesn't seem to have his act all together here. Doesn't seem like he's confident. Might be his first day on the job. Now, where do we turn stuff in? Oh, over there maybe, huh? Looks like we turn it in right here. Oh, very curious to see what kind of a parking... This is kind of cool. All these container facilities here. Which reminds me a lot of the ports in Europe. In Euro Truck Simulator 2. Alright, let's see what we get. 90? Where do you need it? We need it right there. Okay. So do we have to back up and do this to go down there? Well, I think we gotta go over that other row, maybe? I don't feel like we want to go to... Oh, that's the exit, too. What do we... That was weird. That's where we got to park it. But this is one way. Well, you know, as they say, we're only going one way. I don't know if we got... I think we might be cutting this angle too tight, though. Gonna make this corner here. Don't want to scratch up the grizzly bear so soon. But I think we can make it down here. Pull it right in. So far, so good. Can we just pull it right in here? That'd be cool. I mean, this is No, it looks like there's an exit that way, too. It looks like it can go either way here. So I think what we want to do is pull in, try to pull forward, and then back it up in here. That looks like, I bet we're lined up pretty well. I'm liking that. Okay. So if you haven't watched these series before, if you're new, and I know that I kind of got a bunch of new subscribers from the first Texas episode, we do have a house rule in this that when I drive from first-person view. So it's definitely easier to park these when you can use the external cameras. But I don't like to do that. I like to do it like as if I'm really driving the truck. So we do them backed up like this. The only thing I do allow myself the luxury of is using these larger mirrors, because I feel like those are the only mirrors that really kind of give you a sense of depth. But I'm feeling like we're doing okay here. And like if we swing it now, we're going to drop it right in. A little bit wide on the left, but I think we're going to be good. Bingo. Got it. Nice. We are home. Cotton Lint delivered to Houston. Let's tee this one up. See how much. I think we got 10,000 bucks. We went kind of crazy in the last episode. I think we spent $130,000 on the cab. Yeah, there we go. So we got shoreside delivery. So we've delivered to the Houston port. We got 7 more port facilities in Texas to find and deliver to, or cargo facilities. And we got the first of the Cotton Bloom achievement, one of 10 deliveries there. got a pretty good chunk of experience there, heading to level 26. Bring us to the end. Let me know, I'm curious, how are you liking Texas? How are things going? Let me know if you've got suggestions on where we should go next and what we should see. Thanks so much for joining on the ride today. It was a lot of fun, even though it took us about an hour and a half to leave Dallas this morning. But, stuff happens. We'll see you in the next episode. Next one today is probably Friday when this goes up. Next one should be Sunday. See you then. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day.